Danielle Ann Stislicki, known to friends and family as Danny, was 28 years old in December of 2016. She was employed at a MetLife office located in the Raleigh Office Center complex in Southfield, Michigan, and lived at the Independence Green apartment complex in nearby Farmington Hills. Her mother, Ann Stislicki, later described her publicly as a young woman who had everything to live for, and her family has remained active participatory in every stage of the ensuing legal process, now stretching close to a decade. On the 2nd of December, 2016, a cold Friday evening, Stislicki left her office at approximately 5 o'clock. She had made plans to meet her best friend for dinner and sent a text message indicating she would first stop at her apartment. A coworker later testified that as he was driving away from the office building that evening, he saw Stislicki in the passenger seat of her own vehicle, with Floyd Galloway Jr., a security guard employed at her office building, seated beside her as the car left the parking lot heading onto Telegraph Road. A separate witness told police that earlier that same evening, Galloway had appeared to be having car trouble in the parking lot, with the hood of his Buick Regal raised, and that Stislicki had been walking toward him at the time. Stislicki never arrived for dinner and did not contact her friend, which those close to her described as completely out of character. The following morning, the 3rd of December, her black 2015 Jeep Renegade was found parked approximately 8 feet from her apartment door, in its usual spot, with her purse, identification, and credit cards locked inside. Her cell phone and keys were not recovered with the vehicle. When her friend and, subsequently, her family found the vehicle with no sign of Stislicki, they contacted police. Within days, Farmington Hills detectives visited Galloway's home in Berkeley, Michigan. Investigators learned that Galloway had told coworkers he had worked until 11 o'clock that night, but records later showed he had actually called off work that day, citing a doctor's appointment. A cab driver separately told police she had picked up a fare at a Tim Hortons near Grand River and 10 Mile, and driven him to an apartment less than a mile from Stislicki's building. She later identified Galloway from a photo lineup and described him as calm during the ride, saying he was visiting a girlfriend because his car had broken down. Cell phone tower data placed Stislicki's phone pinging near the cellular tower closest to Galloway's residence. On the 9th of December, 2016, 7 days after Stislicki's disappearance, Galloway took a polygraph examination arranged by an attorney he had personally retained. The examiner, a former FBI agent, was reportedly disturbed enough by something Galloway said during the test that he contacted a personal friend who was then serving as police chief in a neighboring city and relayed information he described as important regarding the security guard in the case. That information eventually reached the Farmington Hills police chief overseeing the investigation, who compiled it into an internal tip document. Following up on that tip, investigators located items including Stislicki's Fitbit and her keys, obtained forensic data from her cell phone records, and gathered surveillance footage and testimony from the Tim Hortons location. Investigators also learned that Galloway had purchased a new comforter from a nearby store 2 days after Stislicki's disappearance, and that police later removed a vehicle from his garage as part of the evidence collection process. On the 19th of December, 2016, police publicly announced they believed Stislicki had been the victim of a crime. In July of 2017, authorities announced they believed she had specifically been the victim of a homicide. And in December of 2018, the Oakland County Medical Examiner issued a death certificate stating that Stislicki appeared to have been the victim of an assault, abducted by force, and killed through violence on the day of her disappearance. Separately, in September of 2016, roughly 3 months before Stislicki's disappearance, Galloway attacked a woman jogging in Hines Park in Livonia, Michigan. The woman survived. He was charged in that case and, in December of 2017, pleaded guilty to kidnapping, criminal sexual conduct, and assault with intent to do great bodily harm by strangulation, and was sentenced to 16 to 35 years in prison. Throughout the early years of the Stislicki investigation, the Oakland County Prosecutor's Office repeatedly declined to file murder charges against Galloway, citing insufficient evidence. In January of 2019, newly elected Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel reviewed the case file after taking office and determined there was sufficient probable cause to proceed. In March of 2019, her office charged Galloway with premeditated first-degree murder. Extensive pretrial litigation followed, regarding whether the evidence obtained as a result of the polygraph examiner's tip, including Stislicki's Fitbit, her keys, the Tim Hortons surveillance footage and phone records, and related cab company records, could legally be used at trial, given questions about attorney-client privilege surrounding how the information first reached investigators. In November of 2022, an Oakland County judge ruled that much of this evidence was inadmissible. The prosecution appealed that ruling. In 2023, an appeals court upheld the exclusion of most of the disputed evidence while allowing cell phone records collected before the leaked tip to remain admissible. The prosecution's subsequent petition, asking the United States Supreme Court to review the evidentiary ruling, was denied in January of 2025, leaving the appellate ruling in place and requiring prosecutors to proceed largely without the disputed material. As of this recording, Floyd Galloway Jr. has not stood trial for Stislicki's murder, though he was originally ordered to stand trial in September of 2019 following a preliminary hearing. The case has experienced repeated delays over the roughly 6 years since he was formally charged, driven largely by the ongoing dispute over admissible evidence. In May of 2025, an Oakland County Circuit Court judge set a new trial date of the 2nd of February, 2026, with the trial expected to last approximately 2 weeks. Stislicki's mother told reporters at that hearing that she felt the family was losing sight of Danielle as the true victim in a case defined by years of legal procedure. Galloway remains incarcerated on his earlier, unrelated conviction and has pleaded not guilty to the murder charge. Danielle Stislicki's remains have never been located, despite searches of multiple sites connected to Galloway, including Hines Park and Stony Creek Metro Park. Her family continues to attend every hearing in the case and has stated publicly that they will not stop advocating for a trial to finally take place. This is Crime Lore. Every week, we bring you real, documented cases of true crime and unexplained disappearance, research from police reports, court records, and verified reporting, so you get the facts, not speculation. If this case affected you the way it affected us, subscribe to Crime Lore so you don't miss the next one. Leave a like if you want to see more investigations like this. Drop a comment and let us know your thoughts on this case. And if you know someone who'd want to see this, share it with them. We'll see you in the next case file.